Imagine a city that rose towards the sky, not by divine will, but by the boldness of human hands. A place where the gods spoke to men and the future was revealed between the stones. In the heart of Lazio, among the peaks of the Prenestini Mountains, lies an archaeological enigma, a testament to the greatness and faith of ancient Rome. Today, we will take you on a journey through time to discover Palestrina, the ancient Praeneste, and its sanctuary of Fortuna Primigenia. A masterpiece of engineering, spirituality, and art that still leaves us breathless today. We will show you how this complex was not just a place of worship, but a truly monumental vision. A bridge between the earthly and divine worlds, its magnificence will make you reconsider everything you thought you knew about ancient architecture. The sanctuary of Fortuna Primigenia in Palestrina is not a simple construction. It is a grandiose vision, an affirmation of power and faith etched in stone. It is one of the most important, if not the most daring, places of worship in the entire ancient world. Imagine the Romans, known for their practicality and strength, deciding to transform an entire mountain into a stage for their devotion. It is a masterpiece of engineering that still amazes us today with its complexity and perfection, an architecture that seemed to challenge the sky, rising gradually almost as if it wanted to touch the gods. This was not a building, but an entire landscape shaped by human and divine will. The most impressive element of this sanctuary is undoubtedly its enormous artificial terraces. We are not talking about small platforms, but about truly monumental levels, boldly carved into the mountain, rising like gigantic steps towards infinity. These were not just retaining walls, but foundations upon which an entire sacred ecosystem rested. Each level housed a life of its own, solemn porticos where pilgrims could take shelter or meditate, gushing fountains whose murmur added a sense of peace and purity to the environment, and even theaters, where the drama of life merged with the sublime beauty of the landscape. These theaters were not just for entertainment, they were sacred spaces where perhaps religious dramas or ceremonies were performed, making the sanctuary experience even more immersive and profound. From the top of the sanctuary, the view that visitors were offered was nothing short of breathtaking. The view stretched as far as the eye could see, a green carpet dotted with villages, which on clear days even reached the sea. This sight sublimated the religious experience, reminding anyone there of the vastness of the world and their place within it. In the presence of a powerful and all seeing deity, it was an invitation to contemplation, a moment to feel part of something bigger. The construction of the complex was a titanic challenge for the time. There were no modern mechanical means, only the strength of thousands of arms, the ingenuity of brilliant architects, and the iron will to create a work that would stand the test of time. The problem was not only to dig, but also to reinforce the mountain, create stable foundations, divert the waters, and ensure that each structure integrates seamlessly with the natural topography, amplifying its beauty. It was an undertaking that would have discouraged the less daring, but for the Romans, devotion and prestige were sufficient motivations to overcome any obstacle. But beyond its architectural magnificence, the sanctuary of Fortuna Primigenia was above all a place of profound faith. It was an extraordinary architectural complex whose true essence lay in its religious function, permeated by an almost tangible atmosphere of expectation. Thousands of faithful, coming from every corner of the ancient world, flocked here. They did not come to admire the columns or the porticos, however imposing they were, but for a much more intimate and personal reason, to question the oracle. She was a powerful oracle, linked to fate and fortune, one of the most venerated deities in the Roman pantheon. The goal of these pilgrims was to reveal the future, to know their destiny, to find answers to questions that tormented their souls. The instrument through which the goddess Fortuna communicated with mortals were the mysterious sorti. They were not scrolls or mystical prophecies uttered by priestesses in a trance, but small artifacts, often wooden tablets or fragments of metal engraved with symbols or short phrases. These lots were drawn at random. They held the answers to the most important questions, and the priests had the task of interpreting them. Imagine the anxiety, the hope, the uncertainty these visitors felt. Some asked about the health of a sick family member, some about the success of a trip or a business deal, some about the possibility of finding love. Each draw was a moment of suspense, a door opening onto an uncertain future. It was a sacred place, yes, but also a crossroads of human emotions, a theater where hope and fear met. The procedure, while a sacred rite, also created a sense of community among the pilgrims. They shared the weight, the silent prayers, the emotion of facing the unknown. It was a moment that shaped people's lives, influencing their decisions and providing or denying the reassurance they sought. The true beating heart of the sanctuary, its most precious treasure, however, was located in a specific place, perhaps the oracle room or a sumptuous basilica. We are talking about the Nile mosaic. Today we admire it in the National Archaeological Museum of Palestrina, and it is a work of art that alone is worth the trip. This is not a simple mosaic. It is a carpet of colored stones, crafted with a millimetric precision that still defies our comprehension today. It was not just decoration, but a visual narrative, an epic fresco that told the story of ancient Egypt in extraordinary detail. By examining its tiles, one can admire scenes of daily life along the river, figures of natives, soldiers, hunters, and an incredible variety of exotic animals. Crocodiles basking in the sun, hippos emerging from the water, brilliantly plumed birds, and even giraffes and monkeys, all reproduced with an almost photographic fidelity to nature. The river landscapes are rendered with such mastery that one almost has the impression of hearing the lapping of the water and the rustling of the vegetation. The Nile mosaic was not just a work of art, it was a visual encyclopedia, an illustration of the richness and diversity of the Hellenistic world, a cultural bridge between Rome and Egypt. Its presence in a sanctuary dedicated to Fortuna Primigenia in Palestrina is a fascinating mystery, perhaps linked to the Ijak cults or to Prenesti's role as a center of trade and cultural exchange. This work enchants with its beauty and complexity, a testament to the extraordinary artistic skill and intellectual curiosity of the ancient Romans. Every detail, every shadow, every color contributes to creating a vibrant image of a distant world, a timeless work of art that continues to amaze all who observe it. It is a masterpiece that reminds us how art can transcend time and space, bringing a fragment of another culture directly into the heart of Roman Italy. Today, looking at the imposing ruins of Palestrina, we realize that this place was much more than a simple place of worship. It was a center of power, a crucial node in the religious and political networks of ancient Italy. It was a monument to hope, the hope of knowing the future and shaping one's own destiny. And it is a monument to the greatness of human ingenuity, capable of transforming a mountain into an icon. The ruins, although partial and unfortunately looted and altered over the centuries, still bear witness to the grandeur of what once was. Walking among the remains of its porticos, arches, and terraces, one can still perceive an echo of its past grandeur. It dominates the Lazio landscape with its eternal majesty, a silent sentinel of a glorious era. It is no coincidence that Palestrina is often called the Versailles of antiquity. This definition, however bold, perfectly underlines its magnificence and its symbolic role. Just as the French palace embodied the absolute power of kings, so the sanctuary of Palestrina embodied the pinnacle of Roman civilization. His ability to combine devotion, art, and engineering on a monumental scale. It is a place that resonates with echoes of the past, inviting us to reflect on the fragility of human life. And at the same time, on his incredible ability to create works that defy time, it reminds us that even in the face of the unknown and the power of nature, man has always tried to leave a mark, to build something that lasts, to connect with the divine. Palestrina is not just archaeology, it is a living lesson in history, art, and spirituality, a place where the past still speaks to us with a clear and powerful voice. If this journey into ancient Praeneste has piqued your curiosity,